Amazing, thank you guys. So first of all, welcome to a LinkedIn Rock Your Profile session, which is a program we run at LinkedIn to help educate you guys on how to build a profile that tells your professional story and connects to opportunity on LinkedIn. So my name is Angie, or Angelica, as I was introduced already. I'm an account director at our LinkedIn Marketing Solutions, specifically for the DACH market. So before we dive in, let me give you a better idea on how we will use our time today and what you can expect from the session. So we will start with a get to know what LinkedIn is about, why you should use LinkedIn, a little bit about the profile and your story. So like our main focus area today, what you can do beyond your LinkedIn profile, and a little Q&A in the end. I hope I'll give you guys enough time, but please send as many questions into the chat as you like. So let's start with getting to know LinkedIn. LinkedIn, for most of you guys, I hope you all have a LinkedIn profile already. If not, go on LinkedIn and sign up now, because then you get the right tips. If you have a LinkedIn profile already, please open it up as soon as we come to the profile bit. And in general, LinkedIn is all about you in general, like our professional community and helping you guys to connect to opportunity. So we as a social media networking platform don't get anywhere without you guys, so our community, our members, and that's why we are so successful. So what I'm going to show you now is a little video introduction, and I hope you can all see it and hear it. And we went out in general to talk to real members like you guys about how they use their professional community on LinkedIn and how they reach their definition of success in their careers. So because after all, success is when who you are lines up with what you do. So let's see some of our members and their stories.
I started off as an outsider, and in this industry, it really is about who you know.
The restaurant business is a tough business. I've been up here and I've been down here too.
It is hard to find your footing. So you need people that you're close to help guide you.
I think about how important it was for me to have the role models that I've had.
Look at that.
There have been a lot of friends and clients that have supported me, especially since I started my own practice.
I wasn't able to get there a lot. He essentially plucked me out of obscurity.
He's the one who said, hey man, this is your life. This is what you need to do.
Nobody can do it alone. The more help you can get along the way, the faster you can achieve your goals.
I don't know, I enjoy the work enough that I get lost in it.
If I do anything in this life, I just want young people to feel empowered.
I'll just pursue my aviation goals, whatever it takes to get there. I'm in it to fly.
To help people achieve their dreams.
To tell stories that matter.
To celebrate good food.
I'm in it to speak for those who cannot.
Whatever you're in it for, we're in it together.
So as you can see, a lot of people are using LinkedIn for different kind of ways. For me, especially was finding mentors in the beginning as well, when I started building my network and reaching out to, for example, my professors. So I did it in university, and as you can see, I built my network, grew in it, and have like a great job now because of this network. So this is why I was in it for, and now I'm in it to help you guys. So in general, as I said, we have like a vision at LinkedIn, and it's creating economic opportunity for every member of the global workforce. So that means to each and every one of you that I want to connect you to the best possible way. And that's what we are trying to do as a company. And with that comes our mission as well, is making you guys more productive in the way you are and making you therefore also more successful. So now that you have a better idea of LinkedIn as a company, let's talk about a little bit more about the network itself. So how does LinkedIn create value for you guys? And the answer to that is what our value proposition is summed up by. So it's actually connecting to opportunity. So the one thing I'm always telling you is like, I want to connect you to each and everything around this network. And how we do it is with providing you with examples like getting a job, building your professional identity, learning skills on the platform, learning like maybe the right news and the updates on your industry. And obviously LinkedIn is not the solution for everything, but it can help you for your professional life, and it can leverage like how you are valued as a person outside. And with that, we have like in LinkedIn, the economic graph, we call it, where we have like a lot of data points, which will help you guys to succeed. So one of that means that we have like massive amount of members. That means those people are people you can reach out to. There are a lot of companies you can work with at some point, jobs, skills you can learn. There are loads of schools. So if you are just graduating, or even if it's way back, reach out to alumni of your school and find out, hey, what are they doing now? Maybe they're the next great opportunity for you to find the next right job, or even just sharing your knowledge on the platform. So now let's go to the one part every one of you is waiting for, your profile. So please open up your LinkedIn profile if you have like a second screen by hand, just to go through everything. But I will also come into parts where you can just take a screenshot or a picture, and you can save like a little checklist in the end. So to your profile, your LinkedIn profile is like a digital portfolio, we always say, that represents you and tells your story. And think of it less as a resume, that's what a lot of people tell me, and more as a dynamic portfolio. So, which is engaging, it's visual, it highlights all your experience and skills, and to help you build your professional presence in general. So let's kick off this section by giving you some best practice recommendations to strengthen the key parts of your LinkedIn profile. And maybe there are things you don't even know about. So starting with obviously the picture. Okay, you guys are like, oh, Angie, that's basic, but it is so important to have your profile on with a picture that truly represents you. So that doesn't mean it has to be perfect, like a professional shot. Like you don't need to go and hire a photographer. No, just go in front of a white wall and take a picture. You can snap it on your own. Just make sure it's as high resolution. I mean, most of the phones we have these days is like that. You have good lighting and it just features you. So don't make sure it's not like a dog or a kid on it, because you don't need that on LinkedIn. It's really about you. Yes, and you can even polish it a little bit if you're on LinkedIn and do like little filters, but don't overdo it. And after adding a picture, there's also another thing in the background, especially when you are on the desktop version, you can see a little banner. And in this banner, you can put so much in. It's one of those things, I think it's very undervalued in general. And you should put something in which represents you. Like for me, for example, I put in the rainbow flag because I feel like it is for an inclusive, and that shows and represents me as a person. Other people, or like what BLIX did, which was very good, was, for example, announcing an event. This is something you guys can do as well if you have like something to leverage on. And yeah, use the space because it is so present on your profile. Especially on the desktop version, where people can just put up information. So, and after adding like a photo and a banner, the most important thing people see after that and your name is your headline. A lot of people forget about the headline, and the headline appears everywhere you are. So it appears when you post something, when you comment, and make sure when you do that, that you explain what your job title is, or what you are, in what kind of stage you are in. Like, for example, what does an account director do in LMS in LinkedIn? A lot of people would say, "Ooh, fancy," but what does that mean? So let people know what you're looking for. For example, when you're looking for a job, or if you're looking for a new opportunity, tell them what exactly you're looking for, and also be creative. So what I said is like growing your business with ads, for example, because that explains exactly what my job title does. Like I'm trying to help B2B businesses to grow their business on LinkedIn with marketing on LinkedIn. So And another friend of mine, she's a real estate agent, for example, and she wrote down making people happy, finding the right home. So I thought that was really creative and nice, and I could exactly know what she means with her job title. So, and after that, the most important thing is also to update or add your industry if you haven't done it yet. The industry is so important because it's how often others will find you and add you to the professional network, because you usually try to create a professional network with people around you in the same industry. For me, for example, it's internet, because that's what LinkedIn is standing for, like an internet company or like tech company. For others, always make sure it is the industry of your company, not, for example, you work in marketing for a company, so I wouldn't put in marketing, I would put in the company's industry. So that's the only thing you have to bear in mind. So let's come to a really, really big part, and that's your summary. What I always call it is the summary is your elevator pitch. So for those of you who know what an elevator pitch is, it's a very short version of, for example, meeting someone in an elevator. You go up to the 5th floor and you have 1 minute time to represent yourself, like saying who you are, highlight your accomplishments and aspirations, what you do, and what you want to get out of this, like with talking to someone. So when you think about your summary, keep it short and sweet. You don't need to list all of your career accomplishments because you have the experience section for that, but feel free to highlight what your unique talents are, how you want to contribute to the platform or to others. So that's like really, really important. Okay, and following the summary, we come to the experience. So the one part where you can actually detail everything you've done. So it tells actually your professional story. And with that, because we always say your LinkedIn profile is not your resume. On a resume, you have like a one sheet or 2 sheet where you highlight especially some work experience you have to a specific role. At LinkedIn, you can leverage everything you've done and put it up so people can actually read your story. So really write short paragraphs rather than bullet points, because I'm one of those people, if I click on someone, it's like I'm on YouTube and I click on every video afterwards because I'm so interested in it. And I know a lot of people like that. And it's great for recruiters to find you or even business partners. And you can just use like a couple of bullet points here and there, but I think the majority should be read like a story. And if you work, for example, in a startup or at a company which is not very well known outside of your business, please make sure that you put in a little introduction to this company before detailing your experience. Like, for example, salespeople or other people who have like KPIs, please put that in, because that is a great showcase of what you've done in this specific role. And obviously, it shows like your impact and what your results you delivered and maybe what kind of change you made for this company as well. So let's talk into, let's dive into rich media. So rich media is something we call is a photo, a video presentation, or anything else that is visually enhancing your profile. So it makes it a little bit more dynamic. So it helps you to connect people by adding rich media with your experience, for example. So what you can do is you can either put up like a video of your company if it's not very well known, something like a PDF or portfolio where you can just show what is exactly your role or anything. So you can explain a lot of things there, or even just put up your team picture if you want. So, and then there's something which is in my view, very, very important to my heart as well, because it shows actually who you are as a person outside of your professional network. It is the volunteer experience. It's what makes you stand out of the crowd. And for me, it is a great way to round out your professional identity, but also telling your unique story. So make sure you add volunteer experience if you have some, and if you don't have some yet, please help out others in their community. Just as an example. But in general, volunteer experience is great because You can write down 1-2 quick sentences about what the company is doing, for example, or the specific organization, and what kind of impact you have. And I'm not sure if you know this, but almost half of all hiring managers I know and recruiters say that they view volunteer experience as equivalent to formal work experience, which is great because that shows they're not only looking on what is on your CV, they also want to see who are you as a person. And that's really important to make sure who you are as like an individual. Okay. Another thing which goes down is skills and endorsements. So something everyone is looking for, you are getting filtered by that. And it is a great way to showcase what you are great at. So adding at least 5 or more gives you 17 times more profile views. And in general, professionals, recruiters, business people, they're all searching for key skills, right? Across LinkedIn. So it's just another great way to be found by your network. And remember, in that case, you are in full control of your skills. So that means you choose what order they get displayed, and the top 3 you can display immediately. And then there's the button show more where people can look up more. So I would always say use these top 3 skills and put them immediately to the work you're doing at the moment. So skills are a great way to showcase what you're good at. So, and there's another way to even leverage that a little bit more, and that are recommendations. And this is something which is kind of rare on LinkedIn, I must say. And you guys can use that really. It is a great way to build your professional credibility. So if you don't already have them, please request them from a colleague, from a manager, from your business partners, from your clients, from your student friends, because these people will have great jobs later and can leverage how good you were 10 years ago or just in this moment, and can tell people what a great team person you are, or in general what you're doing. And if you are like saying, oh, but I don't know how to ask those people, if you give them like a customized request, you can always make sure that you can say, oh, I want to be recommended for this specific project or for this specific period. And please, like if you were working in school with them, let them know, okay, we were working on this project together. Can you say a little bit about how my leadership skills were, or my representation skills, or whatever you prefer. And when you don't like, for example, a recommendation someone wrote you, you can even decline it. So it's not like you have to take on everything you send out. And also it is great when someone else is asking you for a recommendation, because I feel like, oh, this person really values my, like what I think of this person, and also gives me a great credibility on the other side. So definitely choose people who you are working closely with, so you can strengthen even more your skills and experience. Okay, this is something a lot of people don't have, and I'm really sad about it because it's my favorite feature on the LinkedIn network platform. And it's also written wrong as step 11, I'm sorry. But this is recording your name. I'm not sure if you've seen it on my profile, but a lot of people have problems to pronounce my name. And I think it's easy if you just read it the way it's written. But I think all of you guys have that problem as well, that someone at some point in your life said your name wrong, and you were like, oh, for fuck's sake, it's not that hard, but I say it again. And to make it easier for other people, record your name. And the way you do it is just on the mobile app. That's important. You can't do it on the desktop version. It's on your mobile app. Go there, record your name, and a little introduction maybe. So what I did was, hey, welcome to my LinkedIn profile. My name is Angelica Balbuena. And here you go, you know how you pronounce my name. And it's just great when people can say your name. I think everyone here is agreeing on that. I can see some heads here. Okay, And after that, there's another really, really cool feature. Not so many people are using yet. And I even have to tell a lot of my people at LinkedIn, it's called the cover story. This is something you can do on your mobile phone as well. It gives you 30 seconds, similar to a lot of other social media platforms, where you can just put up a story. And this story is like introducing to your profile. So what I did was like saying my name, saying what I'm doing at LinkedIn, and saying why you should be on my profile. And if you want to reach out for like coaching, mentoring, and like looking to work with me, kind of. And this is something which is really good to see with others because it's short and you can kind of introduce your profile without scrolling down for others. And it's a really nice feature because not so many people have it yet. So if you're one of the first, it's really cool to have. Okay, and then for those of you guys who are, for example, looking for a new role, or you don't have a role at the moment and you're looking for your first job, there's one thing we have at LinkedIn. It's called Open to Work. And this is something you find on your profile. You can set up, or like you can show your network in general that you are open for work. Like you can use the hashtag open to work in your headline or summary as well, if you want. But you can also just use it as showing recruiters that you're up for work. And it's not even telling your current work that you're looking. So you can have it hidden if you want it really publicly, more public, I would say, then put down like for all LinkedIn members, and then you get even this, I'm not sure if you've seen it, but there's like around your picture, there's like an open to work frame. And that's really good for people to see if you're like commenting, posting or anything, because your picture is everywhere. So this is something you should definitely leverage. And then don't forget about the location you're at. This is something a lot of people forget, but please don't forget the location you're at, because this will help you discover opportunities and connections in your area. The education itself, like, it's so important to add your education, because you can find alumni through that who probably studied the same field or did something in that field, and you want to explore what others did in the same area. And then it also shows up in your profile, so it gets displayed very popularly on the top. And then you have, if you have any publications, please put that up, and obviously accomplishments. So please put accomplishments up and awards up. A lot of people say, oh, at some point when you put up so much on LinkedIn, you feel like you're bragging. But what one of my best friends always said is, it's not bragging if it's based on facts. So please, guys, don't be afraid of your accomplishments. Show it. And if you have people who put you down because you've done something great, then these are definitely the wrong people you're surrounding yourself with. So please surround yourself with positive people, with people who empower you, and that will bring your life much more happiness and will bring you forward in general. So now we talked about on how to take your profile specifically to the next level. Let's talk about how you can leverage LinkedIn to build a strategic network. So something I got asked earlier already. Quick thing for you guys, you can screenshot that if you want, but I think we will send out a video or like the presentation later on anyways, but you can screenshot that now. This is just a checklist for you guys, like all the things we said before. Okay, now we go to the part where we leverage LinkedIn with your voice. And that is, in general, building thought leadership. I think this is something a lot of you guys heard already. What does that mean? So LinkedIn is a place where you can share your insights, expertise, opinions on your professional community or on people you try to influence. And there are two great ways for you to share your professional perspective on LinkedIn. And I think you know how to do it. Guess what? It is sharing updates or publishing posts. So these are the two easiest ways. So what you can do is, in general, sharing everything you want. Like, it doesn't matter. It doesn't need to be something about your industry. It doesn't need to be anything about what you've just done right now, like it's a free platform, so you can talk about everything you want. But always try to publish something. Or if you don't know what to publish, there's always a way to reshare something from someone else you just found. And this is like in general just a great way to show your network, to be out there, like get your name out. The more you share, the more you will see, you get like responses, you get feedback on things like that. I started very little as well. And in the beginning, I thought, oh, no one is responding to my post. This is not relevant to anyone. And guess what? I got asked by BLIX to do this thing now because I was sharing so much about Rocket Profile at some point that people saw me, and now I'm here and talk to you. So never get pulled down by things like that. And in general, I think you guys all know it, but if you're on your profile, start by sharing updates on your homepage, and there's a box where you can just do different things. So it gives you even things like sharing like celebrating an occasion, or sharing that you got hired. Like it gives you some tips on what to do. Put in always a video or a picture, because that's one of my tips, that you always get more responses to it. And when you've done that, obviously track your progress. So this is the way you can leverage and see, oh, okay, in my first 2-3 weeks, I didn't get so many responses, but I saw the people who are looking at my profile or at my posts are from these companies, are people with this job title, or are from this specific area. So you adapt on, either you write your post in, for me, for example, because I'm German, a lot of people are from the Munich area. So I adapted and said, okay, I changed more into not only posting in English, but also more in German. And then I got better responses because I saw they are from this area, or I featured more things from my area in general, like something from the news I found really interesting. So things like that, you can a little bit adapt to get there. And here are also for you guys to screenshot again if you want, best practices for updates and articles. So just be authentic. I think this is the most important part. Be yourself and tell people who you are. Do it frequently. Frequently doesn't mean to post every day. Start little. Start little by, let's say, once every 2 weeks or once a month when you find something. For me, for example, I did start last year to post at least once a week to give people like updates on what I'm doing. And how I did it was with a posting plan. So what you can do is like put up like an Excel sheet or a calendar entry, and say, okay, on Monday at 8 o'clock, I prepare something for next week, which I will post, for example. And the best dates to post something is in general, because it is a professional network, is between Tuesday and Thursday in the mornings. So just to let you know. Yeah. And in general, like start a conversation. I think those are those things you already know. Have a look at the length and the reading time. Look on not using too many emojis or hashtags or different fonts, because I feel like it is a bit too much. And at some point you're like, oh no, I'm not going to read that if there are 20 emojis in front of me, you know? And yeah, as said, track your progress and improve. So, and then there's another thing where on LinkedIn, which a lot of people leverage, is obviously that you can stay on top of news, of content, companies, professionals that matter most to you. And how you do that is, in general, start by following either companies, influencers, top voices. Like if you put in Google LinkedIn top voices for your specific country, or let's say for your field, there will be people showing up who have like great content in general. So make sure you do that, or even if you have like specific groups you want to join. And what to me is most important is connecting. Like connecting to opportunity means connecting to your colleagues, connecting to university friends, or your family and your friends in general. So make sure that you leverage really your network in this kind of sense. So, and almost the end, If you see anything in your feed, you are like, oh, I don't care about this. I don't want to see so many posts of this person, even though it's a good friend. Make sure you customize it. Like either you hide the post, you unfollow someone, or like if you unfollow someone, you're friends with them, that doesn't mean that you're not a connection anymore. It just means that you don't see them frequently in your feed. And obviously, if there's anything like something you find offensive, report it, because that makes our professional community even better. So, and that's it actually, guys. That's like my best tips for you. I hope it helped you a little bit. What you can do now is you can scan this nice QR code with your phone, or just look me up on LinkedIn and connect with me. Write me a little message, please, with how you found me, and then I'll respond to that. Or you can just follow me and see my content. So that's really great. And another thing for you and for me especially is giving feedback. So please, guys, give me some feedback either on LinkedIn, or if you really want to help me leverage and find out if this presentation is helpful in general, use this other QR code I'm showing you now. And that is a feedback form you will find online, where you can just say if you found it great, my presentation skills or not, and if there was anything useful for you guys. And yeah, and then I would say, let's go to the question part. So are there any questions? So feel free to just unmute yourself, guys, and we can go there. And I stop sharing so I can see your beautiful faces.
I have a question.
Yes.
So with regard to the posts, I post on a regular basis, and then you can see how many views you have. But what does this actually mean, the view? Is that somebody just scroll along the post, or did they really read the post?
Yes, so a view in LinkedIn is counted after like a few, I think it is at least 3 seconds. So it's not just a scroll, it really means they started at least reading it. And that is a good indicator that your first, I think it's the first 2 lines, which usually appear on the post if you have like a picture or a video. And that means these were like good, this was a good text that people were in general interested. So that's a really good indicator if you have like good views. And you will see if you have like different posts that some posts were, well, like performed better than others. Yeah.
Depending a lot of the picture of the publication.
Yes, yes, definitely. So I would say best performing ones are definitely with pictures and videos, because it just shows you you have something there. And usually it's way bigger, so people will look at that more than the text.
So it doesn't mean that somebody really click on to view the post, but when they see actually more than 3 seconds, the starting lines, then it is called a view.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. So I can see some questions here in the chat as well. So I can see here, where is best to put media under the example and each employee of featured or accomplishment publications? So in general, what you can do is you can always put up pictures in, for example, in every employee you had, so in the experience section. But if you want to highlight it even more, there is the featured section where you can star highlight the post, and then it shows up really big right underneath your summary. So if you want that. And then, is it better to have a 1-sentence headliner or have a keyword with a separator? So this is a really good question. I usually would say go with 1 sentence, because when it's too many keywords, it's hard to find out what you're focusing on in general, because then it means, okay, you have 10 keywords there, but what are you focusing on in these 10 keywords? Because they can be from so many different fields. And I always say, focus on one thing you want to stand out with. And the keywords you can always put in your summary. Yeah. Okay, do you have any advice for students who are just starting out with LinkedIn? Yes, and that's definitely connecting. Try to reach out to your, let's say, professors, to your people you studied with, and from the professors, definitely get recommendations from them, like who to reach out to, because they know the field. And what I did was I was asking the professors I was like closely with or working with, saying, hey, do you know companies I can reach out to for an internship, or even seeing, oh, where do you think I can go to? So use them as mentors after you've had them as teachers, because they're always there to help you. Yeah, let's have another look up here. What is the measurement for viewing? Okay, we talked about that. Yeah.
I have a question.
Yes, Carmen, hello.
Hey, hello. You mentioned that you found mentors through the platform. I was wondering if you meant as in someone that coaches you regularly,
Yes.
or just, you know, people that you follow.
Yes, so both. Obviously, I was looking for people who I'm following too. This is specifically through like top voices or people I know are influencers in my field. And at some point I thought, hey, why not reaching out to companies who are like building these great networks? Like BLIX is like a great network where you can find a mentor, but there are also other stuff. Like I'm also part of the female, oh God, what is the name? So I was part of the Female Factor, and I'm a coach and mentor there as well. And I found one of my mentees through this platform because I was just there to listen to one of the sessions and connect to the people who were there. And this is what you guys can just do as well, like find them through that. Or if you see someone who has a great profile and you've been following them for a while, just drop them a message and say, hey, I've been following you, super interested in the content you're posting. Can we talk about this a little bit more in just a 15 or 20-minute call? And I will tell you, it's amazing how many people will answer you. So just try it, because it's not going to break your leg if you're not asking.
Yes, thank you. I mean, I'm a mentor myself, but I'm looking for my own mentor, which is much harder.
Yeah, it is quite hard, but definitely reach out to different networks. Like I was like always interested in female empowerment because I went to a girls' school, and I feel like it's so important these days to empower others around yourself. So I was looking specifically for female investors or female people who founded something. So I was just looking to find them and then reach out to them.
Okay,
And
thank
definitely
you.
do that in your field as well. If you have someone you're looking up to already, just drop them a message. But don't be sad if they're not answering, because probably a lot of other people will do it as well. But then at least you tried.
That's true. Thanks.
Yeah. Any other questions, guys?
Just to touch on what Angie just said, on BLIX we have a profile of different mentors, different fields at different stages of their career. So these are guys who have, you know, well experienced years in tech. Not just tech, actually, we have some of the mentors who are experienced in finance and different areas. So feel free to go to blix.network to browse the mentor's profile. You can book sessions. The mentoring session is very free. And to be very honest, the mentors are very willing to share their knowledge and experience with you, you know, to kind of spend time, know where you're at in your career, and ways they can support you to help elevate you. So feel free to go to blix.network, yeah.
Yeah, okay, I can see another question. So what is your tips for spending LinkedIn advertising money to present your company value? In my case, coaching. So in this case, if you want, you can definitely talk to me again, and I'll give you a little overview on what to do. But in general, LinkedIn advertisement is really good in general for your company, because if you're doing B2B, it is amazing on how many people are professionally on the network. So it gives you a lot of C-suite people, like a lot of people who have leverage and who have probably the money as well to spend it on your products. So that's like the first thing. In general, when it comes to coaching, it is just a great way to find your audience in general, seeing, okay, who's interested and what kind of target, like what of kind of target audience do you want to reach in general. So you can even get more specific to that. And depending on the country you're in, you can definitely find a great way to build your awareness in general. So definitely start it out and try out different things there. And I'm happy to follow up on that. Okay, and then there's also a direct message. I'm not sure if I should read that out loud. Here. Oh God. I was wondering if it can be considered wrong to like too many posts of your connections, as this way, when someone clicks on activities, they will see every single post I've liked and commented, and maybe it can be a bit boring. I have noticed that most people around me try to like less posts, and I was wondering if I was doing something wrong. No, definitely not, guys. Like as much as you want from people you like, etc. Don't get any frustrated in there. Like, you empower others, you help them bring their posts up to date to your network. Like, you can always see that if you follow someone a lot, you get more posts from them. And when you like it, then obviously don't worry about what other things think about you in this kind of sense. So it's great. And then another question from a student's point of view, what key things would you say we need to keep in mind for highlighting ourselves? So in general, keep in mind, it doesn't matter what other people say about you. It doesn't matter how people will look at your profile, etc. Like, first thing in general is don't try to please people you don't like, or please people who give you like a bad feeling. Try to please yourself, because the more confident you are with yourself, the easier you will find it for you to get the connections, to get the roles you want, etc. Because confidence is key in this world. And I know it is hard, especially when you just started out from school. But in general, just keep in mind to highlight like happy things. Connect really with the people you like. And if there's someone you try to connect but you don't like them, then just don't. Like, really, just don't. Just try to stay in a positive mood, because that's what the LinkedIn platform is kind of about. Okay, can you post best from your company page or from your personal page? Both. I would say both. Like, it depends. I would say it depends on how many followers you have or how big your network is. So I would always do both and see like the difference. But in general, company obviously to see, because they have like the company followers are obviously different followers than your network. So I wouldn't say there's a best practice. I would say just do both and try it out, because your company has different followers than to yourself. Your network is completely widespread. So I would say it is great to post on your behalf, because it gives you leverage, but it also gives the company leverage. And in general is always try to post on your company first and then share it, because then people will come back to the company page, and even make sure that your colleagues are sharing that as well, because then it gets wider and wider and you get more attraction to that. Yeah. So guys, if there are any more questions, please let me know now. Otherwise, I will send you off to this great, beautiful sunny day. And I hope you enjoyed this. I really enjoyed your faces here. It's a lot of smiling faces. So very happy to help. Cool. So nothing more to hear now. So please just send a message on LinkedIn, connect with me, follow me, whatever you prefer. And if there are any questions, reach out and have a great day. Bye, guys.
Thanks so much, Angelica. This was amazing. Thank you.
You're very welcome.
Thank you so much.
Bye-bye. Thank you.